The moment you open your mouth to explain yourself, you have already lost. Picture it. The accusation hits. A small jab at a dinner party. Someone questions your skill in a meeting. A lover twists your words. You feel the heat rise in your chest. Your stress hormones spike. Your brain screams that they don't understand you, that the truth is being twisted, that you must fix it right now. So you talk, you clarify, you justify, you add context, and in that exact second, you have handed them your throat. Because the world does not judge you by whether your words are true. It judges you by how desperate you sound when you say them. The one who explains is the one who submits. The one who defends is the one who accepts the other person's power to judge them. Niccolo Machiavelli, the master of power games, understood a harsh truth that modern society has tried to train out of you. He knew that power is not about being right. It is about who controls the frame. And the moment you defend yourself, you step into their frame. You become the defendant in their courtroom. But what if you didn't? What if, when the attack comes, you do the one thing that scares a manipulator more than anything else? Most people live like emotional puppets. They get pulled by the strings of other people's opinions. Someone frowns, they apologize. Someone accuses, they explain. They live in a constant state of reactive defense, trying to prove they are good, smart, or worthy. It is a miserable way to live. It is a slow choking of the soul. But there is a different way. A way of moving through the world that is so calm, so in control, and so hard to break mentally that insults do not just bounce off you. They melt away before they even touch you. This is not about being cold. It is not about being arrogant. It is about a deep shift in where you get your sense of reality. Today, we are going to break down the psychology of not defending yourself. We are going to look at why your body betrays you in these moments and how to override it with a strategy Machiavelli would have whispered to a prince. I am going to show you how to flip the power dynamic instantly, how to make the attacker doubt their own thinking, how to use silence not as no sound, but as a weapon that crushes someone's ego. But be warned, this requires you to kill a part of yourself that you have been feeding since you were a child. The part of you that begs to be understood. The part of you that needs permission. If you can kill that need, you become dangerous. You become untouchable. Let's begin. So why do you do it? Why, when someone challenges you, is your first instinct to prove you are innocent? It starts in childhood. Think back to when you were 5 years old and a parent or a teacher blamed you for something. What was the only way to escape punishment? Explanation. I didn't break it. It fell. I didn't hit him. He hit me first. You learned that authority figures had the power to judge you. And you learned that your safety depended on convincing that authority figure that you were good. The problem is, you grew up, but your mind didn't. You walk through the world treating everyone like that authority figure. Your boss, your partner, the stranger on the internet, even your enemies. When you defend yourself to someone, you are subconsciously saying, "You are the judge. I am the child. Please accept my excuse so I can feel safe again." It smells like weakness. And human beings, as primal as we are, can smell that scent of submission from far away. Machiavelli wrote, "It is much safer to be feared than loved." Now translate that into modern social life. It is much safer to be respected than understood. When you rush to defend yourself, you choose being understood over being respected. You are saying, "Please understand me. Please see what I meant." But a king does not explain his order to a peasant. A lion does not explain its hunt to a gazelle. The moment you start rambling, giving reasons, showing texts, bringing up old events to prove your point, you have signaled that your inner calm depends on their agreement. You have given them the key to your house. And once they have that key, they can wreck the place whenever they want. This is the trap of needing validation. You believe that if you just explain it clearly enough, they will say, "Oh, I get it now. You're right. I was wrong." How often does that really happen? Almost never, because the attack was never about facts. It was about power. They didn't accuse you because they wanted the truth. They accused you to see if you would react, and you reacted. The first step to becoming untouchable is realizing the courtroom is not real. There is no judge. There is no jury. There is only you and how you see reality. When you stop treating other people like judges, their accusations stop sounding like punishments. They start sounding like opinions. And opinions are just noise. So what happens when you don't react? Imagine the situation. Someone throws a sharp sentence at you. You're being incredibly selfish right now. The old you would say, "No, I'm not. I did X, Y, and Z for you yesterday. I'm just tired, defensive, weak, reactive." Now imagine the Machiavellian approach. They say, "You're being incredibly selfish right now." You look at them. You hold eye contact. You don't blink. You keep your face totally neutral. You let the silence hang in the air for 3, 4, 5 seconds. Do you know what happens in that silence? It becomes a psychological vacuum. The human brain is scared of silence during a conflict. It signals a tear in the social fabric. It signals the other person is not playing the game. When you stay silent, you reflect their energy back at them. You force them to sit in the tension they created. Usually, they start to fall apart. They speak again to fill the empty space. "I mean, you're not always selfish, but just right now. Why are you looking at me like that?" They start defending themselves against your silence. The power has flipped. This is the gray rock method taken to a weapon level. You become a void. A void cannot be attacked. You cannot punch mist. You cannot cut water. By refusing to give the resistance of a defense, you let their attack pass right through you and throw them off balance. This takes huge inner control, because inside, your ego is screaming, "Fight back. Say something smart." You must leash that dog. Machiavelli knew the most powerful person in the room is the one who cannot be read. If you defend yourself, you reveal your values. You reveal what hurts you. You reveal your buttons. "I'm not stupid," you shout. Now they know your insecurity is intelligence. "I'm not a bad person." Now they know your insecurity is being seen as moral. Silence reveals nothing. It is a dark mirror. And when they look into it, they only see their own aggression reflected back, and it makes them uncomfortable. It makes them feel judged, which is funny because you have not said a single word. Sometimes silence is not enough. Sometimes the situation needs words, but never defensive words. If you must speak, you never push back against the force. You pull it. You use the Aikido of conversation. There is a concept in dark psychology called agree and amplify. It makes the attacker's brain feel confused and unstable. If someone accuses you of something ridiculous, defending yourself makes the ridiculous thing seem important. It suggests the accusation is serious enough to deserve an answer. Instead, you lean into it. You exaggerate it until it becomes a cartoon. Attacker, you are so obsessed with money. You're greedy. Defensive you, no, I'm not. I just want to provide for my family. Boring. Predictable. Machiavellian you caught me. I actually swim in a vault of gold coins like Scrooge McDuck every Tuesday. It's terrible for my back. You say it with a flat face or a small, amused smirk. What did you just do? You refuse to be insulted. You prove you are not insecure about that topic. You turn their serious attack into a joke. You show that you control the frame of reality, not them. This strips the attacker of their weapon. They wanted to hurt you. Instead, you took their knife and started peeling an apple with it. It signals amused mastery. Amused mastery is the highest state of status. It is the attitude of a parent watching a toddler throw a tantrum. You don't get angry at the toddler. You don't argue with the toddler. You are amused by the drama because you know you are safe. When you defend yourself, you are getting down on the floor and screaming with the toddler. Don't do that. Stand up. Look down. Smile. Robert Greene, in the 48 Laws of Power, talks about Law 25. Recreate yourself. Part of that is refusing the identity other people try to force onto you. When they label you, they are trying to put you in a box. If you fight the box, you are still dealing with the box. If you mock the box, you destroy it. You're arrogant. I prefer the term charmingly confident, but sure. You don't care about anyone but yourself. I'm working on it. I'll add you to the list of people I care about next year. It is savage. It is dismissive. And it is incredibly attractive. But because it shows you are complete. You do not need their approval to know who you are. A person who knows they are generous laughs when called stingy. A person who knows they are smart laughs when called stupid. If you are defending yourself, it is because deep down, you fear they might be right. And that is the shadow work you must do. Let's go deeper into the philosophy of the interaction. Every conversation has a hidden structure, a secret blueprint. In a conflict, there is usually a judge and a defendant. The judge asks questions: why did you do that? What were you thinking? Who do you think you are? The defendant answers, I did it because I was thinking. Whoever asks the questions holds the power. Whoever answers is losing status. The most deadly Machiavellian trick is to refuse the role of defendant and take the role of judge. You do this by answering a question with a question, or by analyzing their behavior instead of your own. Them, why are you always so late? Defensive you, there was traffic, and my alarm didn't go off. Losing. Machiavellian you, why does my arrival time affect your mood so deeply? Do you see the shift? Now we are not talking about the clock. We are talking about their emotional control. We are talking about their reaction. Them, you're being ridiculous. Machiavellian you, what makes you feel the need to use labels like that to get your point across? You are analyzing them in real time. This makes a manipulator furious. They want you stumbling and scrambling. Instead, you are circling them, watching them like a specimen in a jar. It's interesting that you see it that way. Does saying that make you feel better? You seem very invested in this. These phrases are shields. They acknowledge the sound coming out of the other person's mouth, but they do not accept the meaning. It is a boundary, a verbal force field. You are saying, this is your stuff, not mine. Keep it. This is not just a trick. It is a spiritual position. It is realizing that other people's opinions of you are not your job. Their anger is their problem. Their disappointment is their responsibility to handle. When you defend yourself, you are trying to carry their emotional luggage for them. You are trying to fix their feelings. So, let them carry their own weight. Now for the paradox. Sometimes the most aggressive, power-flipping move you can make is to agree, but not the way you think. This is not agreement from weakness. It is agreement from the abyss. Imagine someone is yelling at you. They list your flaws. They are trying to start a fight. You look them in the eye and say calmly, you're right. And then you stop talking. You're right. I am difficult sometimes. You're right. I did mess that up. This is the fogging technique. When you throw a rock into a fog bank, what happens? Nothing. No thud, no bounce. It just disappears. When you agree with an attacker, you steal their momentum. They are pushing on a door, expecting it to be locked. When you open the door, they fall forward. They want to fight. They want resistance. Resistance proves their anger matters. Agreement drains it. But here is the key detail. You must agree with the true part of what they said without accepting the shame they are trying to glue onto it. There is a difference between admitting a mistake and accepting a character attack. You messed up this report. You're incompetent. Defense, I'm not incompetent. The data was wrong. Power move, you're right. The report has errors. I'll fix it. Notice what you did not talk about. You did not answer the incompetent part. You ignored the insult and handled the fact. You took responsibility for the action, but not the identity. This signals huge confidence. Only someone who feels secure in their ability can admit a mistake that easily. Insecure people fight like crazy to prove they didn't mess up. Secure people say, oops, my bad, and move on. Machiavelli would call this disarming the enemy. If you put down your sword, they look silly holding theirs. It drains their energy. It makes them look out of control, and it makes you look steady. And in the long run, history is written by the steady. None of this works if it is only acting. If you use these lines but your voice is shaking, your eyes are darting, or your energy is screaming, please like me, it will fail. Dark psychology is 20% words and 80% nonverbal frame. You have to build the inner structure that can hold the silence. This brings us back to the shadow. Why does it hurt when they attack you? Because they are touching a sore spot that already exists. If I tell you that you have green skin, you won't get mad. You'll think I'm crazy. You won't defend yourself. You'll laugh. But if I tell you that you are a failure and you defend yourself, it is because a part of you worries I might be right. The strongest defense is not a speaking trick. It is self-knowledge. It is looking at your own darkness, owning your flaws, and accepting your shadow. When you know you can be selfish and someone calls you selfish, you say, sometimes, yes. When you know you can be cruel and someone calls you cruel, you say, I can be. You cannot shame a man who has already accepted himself. You cannot expose a woman who has nothing left to hide. This is what it means to be untouchable. It means you have brought together the parts of yourself that other people try to use against you. You become clear. The light passes through. The arrows pass through. You are no longer a fortress that needs defending. You are the wind. So here is the challenge. For the next 7 days, you are going to play a game. The game is called No Defense. No matter what happens, no matter how small the accusation is, you are not allowed to explain yourself. If you are late, say, I'm late. Do not give the reason. If you spill the coffee, say, I spilled the coffee. Do not blame the cup. If someone misunderstands you, let them misunderstand you. Sit in the fire of that discomfort. Feel the urge to fix it, to control how they see you, to be the good guy. And let that urge burn down to ash. Watch what happens to the people around you. Watch how they react when you stop playing the game. You will see confusion, then respect, then a strange kind of magnetism, because people are drawn to certainty, and nothing screams certainty louder than a person who does not need to explain why they exist. You are taking back your energy. You are plugging the leaks in your soul. You are stepping out of the role of the child and into the role of the sovereign. The world will try to pull you back. It will try to bait you. It loves a reaction. Don't give it one. Keep your mystery. Keep your power. Keep your silence. If this philosophy connects with the darker, deeper part of your mind, the part that is tired of performing for others, then you know what to do. Subscribe, but not because I asked you to. Subscribe because you are done being prey in a world of predators.